afraid of them when they're doing the thing with speed.
I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. Miss Lady, try and take these two for me, please. I feel like you might need Wednesday and you might need Thursday. Oh, okay.
Oh, you're coming back?
I'm trying to help people do their work inside of here, boys.
And they don't want the help.
You see how she get on? You see how she get on?
They don't want the help. They don't want the help.
All right, so let me go back to the
can't
trap.
be talking and want it off the air because they have one microphone to catch you, you know.
But here now, the phrase what did you just say about it, like the young people to do what?
He like when young people
I like
explore in the music
yeah, I like when young
experiment.
people. Yeah.
You like the slow ones though, you don't like the
But
fast
I
ones.
can't take that fast thing. That fast thing and
And slow, not the fast and wild.
Nah, he never that.
yeah, wow.
Tina Turner. I don't know. What category do I fit in, Sprang?
You just mad.
Apparently, that's my category right there. So, trap music, Sprang up.
Mm-hmm.
You are obviously not going to watch this girl. You may or may not like, but there's a no. You may or may not like because there's a.
Me or may not like it. Because of that, I don't.
I need for you.
I do not have to like it.
Sprang, the last time, okay, but at least to be able to give it a fair listen, an objective listen, because the last time you did this, you came back the following day and said, Gerelle, that thing where, and all of a sudden you was curious into what the young people them doing. This is when we did the Uncovered series, right?
Yeah.
Now, I need you to take an objective position in the following. You and the listeners, right?
Right.
Please
I will take.
indulge
I will
me
take
for 2 seconds.
a biased view, but I will not take a biased view. Take a final position.
You don't have to,
Right, good.
but you need to give it a fair hearing.
Well, I go listen to it and I go listen to it in my mind without you telling me it good. And
You could come up with your own conclusions. I just need you to give it a fair hearing. Now, what you do is that the first 10 seconds in, before the artist even start to say words, you will work out in your mind, hey, this thing is noise, this is young people thing, and tune off.
yeah.
Which is not a fair hearing.
Well, you see, your problem is not this. If I listen to the whole thing,
How can you respond without even hearing the words of the artist, though, Sprang?
No.
That is not a fair hearing.
I go in part. One, run it down one time is of no help to me. Whatever I hear first, I go in with that, and then afterwards I go listen to what they're singing. The next time I listen to it and so on.
All right.
Me a good like all you.
Well, there's a song that I want Trinidad and Tobago to hear.
There's a trap?
This is the trap, right? No, it's a local trap. And
What, there is foreign trap?
Trap is a foreign thing. Hush, let me explain first.
All
and
you
then
get
you'll
local
understand.
trap. What all you invent again?
Sprang, can I speak first and then you can respond?
No. You gonna talk for the next half hour, I go remember all that? I Alzheimer.
Well, you say. I talk to the people then. I'll talk to the listeners, right?
Red, go ahead.
So, there's a local trap, and trap music originated in like the 1990s out of the states, south of the states. But it's typically aggressive, as they have here, aggressive lyrical content and sound where the instruments are propelled by the kick drums and heavy bass lines and that kind of vibes, right? You'll find that think trap set, trap music. You see how they play on that there? All right, cool. So we have the local group Freetown Collective, which you all know of, and this.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the listeners. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, somebody don't talk to you.
I tell you to
Right?
talk to me?
So this is one from Freetown Collective. It's called
This trap?
Normal.
This trap?
Hey, you sirs make me want to send my soul. Hey!
I asking you.
I
this
want
trap?
you all to listen to this. Give it a fair hearing. Take in the lyrics of it. And we'll have that discussion after, right?
Woke up this morning from my normal sleeping. Had my normal breakfast, normal juice and normal cereal. Picked up my paper just to do my normal reading. Normal war and killing, all these normal people feeling like everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Normal, normal, normal. Normal, normal, normal. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Make you feel like throw up. Middle East start blow up. Murder anything that show up, but it's okay. Hold up. Murder anything that show up, but it's okay. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Normal, 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 normal. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal.
Time boy fussing for was the big deal. Just a few black boys with some blue steel, running wrong in circles just to get a square meal. But as a normal scene, let's just keep it real, cause everybody's selling keys, normal, normal. I know they're busting at police, normal, normal. I see your body in the streets, normal, normal. But we just buried it in seas, normal, normal. And tomorrow is the same, normal, normal. And the people will complain, normal, normal. But we just played it like a game, normal, normal. But it's the same, normal, normal. It's normal.
Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Normal, normal, normal. Normal, normal, normal. Everything normal, everything normal, everything normal. Don't be frightened, don't get worried. This is normal, this is normal. If you fall down, it goes sort out. Don't get worried, this is normal. If you fall down, if you fall down, don't get worried, this is normal. When it fall down, it goes sort out. Don't get worried, this is normal. Normal, normal, normal.
Normal, normal, normal. School children smoking normal, walk the streets naked normal.
Fake it to make it if you want to take it normal.
Rob the bank normal and buy a Range Rover normal.
Lie to the people normal.
Practice evil normal.
Chop off a head normal and smile on camera normal.
Bust your AK, make the block shake way normal.
First degree murder normal and out on bail I'm in normal.
Get fat in the parliament.
Cannot pay my rent normal.
Take a run in tongue normal and buy a gun normal.
Casually rob your wife just in real formal normal.
Go to court normal and cause the magistrate normal.
Beretta 9mm.
I'm 11 normal.
Take me sentence normal, Isaac King in jail normal.
Hungry to starve range
In the garage normal.
Let me hear you. Did you, first of all, did you give it a fair hearing?
I listen to it.
Okay, let me hear you.
This trap music, is it? Well, look, yeah, I no bass for it, you see. I don't understand. The parameters of music has changed so drastically before my eyes. I think it's good. It's good poetry. I mean, it's pointless, but it's good poetry. But
What point?
that music are really
Okay, so you
are
don't
uninspired by the music.
the music. Okay, fine, cool. What about the song itself?
Yeah. Well, it's rigid journalism is not really. It's not making no point of how to articulate a vision out of it. It's just telling you what's going on. So it's just really journalism. No, general journalism it is. So, but it is, it's constructed in a particular way to say what they have to say. But the music really and carrying it no way. The music does not hold any salvation for the problems the lyrics hold.
Wow.
So I have no.
Okay.
But this is trap music.
If only I get silent, it's because I take this pen and shove it in my neck.
Eh.
So I could end this torture.
Put it by your jugular. No, but you understand
I
what I'm
love
saying?
the sarcasm of it. And the sarcasm of it because outside of the lyrics, the play on what young people will go to clubs and dance to and enjoy
People dance to
would
that?
be this trap
All
song.
of the dance to that?
And I love the play on it because the other songs that you would hear in trap music with regards to its content ain't going nowhere. Like, and we're just talking about in the club kind of vibes, right? True. But I love that the sarcasm of the lyrics tie right back into
To that music?
yeah. That's what I find very witty about it.
witty way.
Yeah, that's great.
It's normal journalism. They don't say nothing. But I understand.
That man says normal journalism. They didn't say nothing.
What is normal journalism?
What does that mean?
That means that they're saying all what's going on. They have no point. They're making no point saying what's going on. They're not putting it in any particular order for it to point you in no direction. And they're playing a music that almost like if they're telling me the music don't help.
Interesting. This is why I like to do this with you, because
Why me?
your perspective is interesting, and you being the older generation is interesting. Pause, hush, don't say anything. We're going to go into our news, and when we come back, we'll have more.
Yo, it's your boy Quasi Jeffers, National Young King for 2010, and you're locked on to 91.1.
Hey, hey, start it now. Hey, let we do it now. Step forward, I move forward. I step forward. Everybody, alle, 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 alle. It's time to get up and start moving. Alle, alle, alle. Leaving all your problems behind it. Alle, 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 alle. We pressing on to our victory. Alle, alle, alle. Oh, yeah. I woke up this morning and I feeling nice, but the path that I chose comes with battles to fight. As long as I'm living, my future is shaping, and where I am heading, got no time for problems. Hold the weight on your shoulder, put the problems behind you. If you fall down, just get up and get your head out the dirt. And when they try to badmine you, and they talking behind you, don't let nothing bother you. Put your hand in the air and everybody, alle, 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 alle. It's time to get up and start moving. Leaving all your problems behind it. We pressing on to our victory. Oh, yeah. There we go. I step forward. I move forward. I step forward. I move forward. I step forward. I move forward. I step forward. Oh, yeah. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Your situation is not what it seems. As long as you live in, your future is shaping, and the way you are heading, got no time for problems. Hold the weight on your shoulder, put your troubles behind you. If you fall down, just get up and get your head out the dirt. And when they try to badmine you, and they talking behind you, don't let nothing bother you. Put your hand in the air and everybody, alle, 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 alle. It's time to get up and start moving. Leaving all your problems behind it. We pressing on to our victory. Oh, yeah. Everybody, I step forward. I move forward. Step forward. I move forward. Step forward. I move forward. Step forward. Oh, yeah. Tell your problems, I got to keep moving on. I am not my circumstances. Better is before me and you. Time to fulfill our destiny. I want you to come with me. I want it. Everybody. Alle, alle, alle. It's time to get up and start moving. Alle, alle, alle. Leaving all your problems behind. Alle, 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 alle. We pressing on to our victory. Alle, 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 alle. From somebody. Let's go. Hey, start to move. Hey, start to move. Hey, start to move. Hey, to get up and go. And then we get up and go. Drop somebody out. Take them by the eye.
All right, 8 minutes after 5 o'clock is Stoke City 91.1 FM. Gerelle Peters Forbes alongside Dennis Augustus, your friend is Juari. That's when they sing Sprang along hole.
Yeah.
He gave me that middle name actually. And Jude is in studio. Jude, would you like a middle name?
No, I'm
Spranger, let's give Jude a middle name.
No.
Why?
It's bad enough as it is.
We gave Cleon when he came on middle. We gave our guests middle names.
He's not we guess. He's not even we friend. We just know him. He's a colleague at work.
I brought in Jude because Jude is a hip hop head around here in work and a music head, and He's just ahead, right? Jude, I want you to explain what trap music is. To Sprang.
Alright. Trap music is a kind of hip hop that's meant to be digital instrument driven. It's the name comes from is music from the trap, and in the southern part of the states, the trap is referred to anywhere where drugs was being sold, or any kind of illegal activity was taking place was referred to as the trap. Then it kind of extended to it became a slang just to refer to the ghetto. And the music that was born from that is called trap music.
Ironically, in the productions of the trap, you'll find that the
heavy bass.
Right. And the hi-hats and thing, which is like a trap set.
Hold on. Not you. We ain't ready for you yet.
I'm just saying ironically that the trap.
Don't ironically me.
That was nice.
Don't ironically
I find
me.
that's very clever how the traps, that's kind of cool how the traps kind of read back now.
Yeah, we ain't inventing nothing,
Sorry.
You bring it from where it come from.
Go ahead.
I am saying, when you have Trinidad trap music,
that don't make any sense to me. First of all, but go ahead.
All right, I bet it'll be going good. When you have Trinidad trap music, I am saying, based on the origin and the coming up of the music, what have we replaced the drug culture with in our trap music? We have no what is it called? We have no dealing with the bass and the trap and the thing. We just copying the music.
Well, I heard she was referring to something that she played earlier from Freetown that had a trap. They broke up the music and played that. There was a, if I remember the song properly, there's a trap section. There's when a part of that trap beat drops. But apart from that, I don't think there's any local equivalent to trap music. We don't have anything that represents that. We don't have a genre of music.
I mean, hip hop locally is still struggling to get itself. So.
And even most of the local hip hop artists, I haven't heard them start to jump on trap beats yet. So I don't think we have any local trap music at all.
Okay, good.
And just for the purpose, for the benefit of the listeners, there's another type of music that's similar to trap music in hip hop, but if trap music is from the south, then the other type, which is drill music, is coming out from Chicago, which is in the northern part of the country. So it's the same thing, just the beats are slightly different, same heavy bass, but the melodies are a little different. But the same way, the lyrics don't need to make sense. You don't need to say anything of that's important to anybody. You just need to write the rhythm.
Off the top of your head, you can think of any trap beats I could play.
Any drill beats, you mean?
Trap and drill beats that I could play for Sprang too.
You wanna play for me?
No,
not on air.
That's the instrumentals though.
What's a good one?
I found this one, but I don't know. It's just an instrumental, so I haven't heard it to say like.
Well, play it. Let me hear.
Where's that?
Up and around, watch you my Bugsy.
Why is it that?
Long intro, and you ain't know when the tune start.
Yeah, that's a bad example. I'm trying to find one that's radio friendly at the same time now. So. Which one is that?
Future from the Trap. That's a pretty good one. If you get instrumental. Yeah, though.
Maybe not lose people today now.
Me I go tell them it's a little plate. Me I'm losing my work for trap. Or they want to trap me. One name drill and one name trap.
Yeah. Drill music is even more violent than trap music, because drill music is straightforward. Because I don't know if you all know what's going on in Chicago with the amount of murders and the gang violence that's taking place there, and drill music is like the music that is fueling that has been born from that. So
we should copy that, because we have enough murders to support that instead of trap.
Drill music is pretty straightforward. the guys in those songs, tell exactly what they would like to do to the enemies. It's pretty straightforward. Trap music could be more considered like partyish. There's a club element to it. There's a bopping and kind of thing, but drill music is straight violence.
It's important for we to know all this, because we walking on eggshell in this country. But there is nothing that we invent, so there's nothing that we could hang on to.
That's true.
And that's my problem.
This ain't it.
No, that's not from the trap.
Yeah.
But just now. But you can play that. That sounds like a pretty good example. Just scroll it down a little bit because
go somewhere instead of taking the.
Right, so this is an example, I guess, of the trap instrumental, right?
Therefore, that way you played when you played first for me is not trap.
The one that they had, what you say, TNT? Local trap?
Yeah. No, no, that's not.
But I feel like looking for local trap before it kind of gives off the
well, I mean,
idea of
it's a trap. It might be a trap beat, but it's not really trap music. It's not because Freetowners are quite lyrical individuals, and one of the salient identifying marks of trap music is that lyrics do not matter. Lyrics do not matter.
One of the salient points about Trinidad right now is that lyrics do not matter.
That's very similar in that way. But the trap, some of the trap parties have gone even more to the point where they've stopped actually singing words. There's now something called mumble rap where men go hit it.
Well, that's really nice in Trinidad.
They're not even singing words, like they're not making.
Let the politicians and them sing
which
that.
is why I'm telling him the sarcasm of the song when putting the trap in it is creative. Like
but it's just two different music of the same thing. My point is that the lyrical content in what I'm doing.
Future Travis Scott and 2 Chainz. Okay. That's another good
one.
The
thing is that the song she play for me and tell me about trap music.
If you get the instrumental,
it's better than trap music. And that's my problem. It's better than trap music. It's bad journalism. But at least they're saying something. But
was that the Freetown?
Yeah.
But
the trap music is of nowhere.
Well, I mean, it's entertainment. It's pure entertainment. There's no.
To who?
Well, to the folks who enjoy it. I enjoy trap music sometimes. Just
I do sometimes. But at the same time, though, Sprang, you can't really tell a person, especially from somebody like you coming from the arts. You can't really tell a person how they should express.
No.
Trap. If people who live that kind of lifestyle and they find that they can express their rage or painting their realities in this way and this suits that feeling, I feel like you can't say
more than that. Most of the times it's just escapism. It's like
Trinidad go like that.
Is a way to escape the
right. I understand that. Trinidad go like that. When you have nothing to say, you have a music to say or nothing.
And nothing wrong with that.
Exactly, nothing wrong with it. Okay, listen to this.
No, but I am saying nothing wrong with that in America, in a developed country, but a developing country can ill afford that. That's the point I'm making.
What's that? Say that again?
It's something like Firefly. With Ajala singing.
Ajala song. The White Horse song?
The White Horse song.
That's very far from that. That's right.
No, I'm saying
what you can reference it to, like just the instrumental.
Okay.
Which is cool that you could sing back to. That's actually that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's had to sing along if for those in the studio. For the listeners who didn't hear, he's had to sing along. He's had to sing lyrics to the Ajala too.
Oh, now I want to hear. Oh, hold on.
No, me singing again. I done with that.
What was in the White Horse, right?
White Horse.
No, this is the trap that we hear now.
With Beaver and them was doing that.
You still hearing the Firefly today,
Firefly
right?
with Beaver and them was doing that.
So let me hear. Yo, well done, Sprang.
Yeah.
I love what just happened there. Yo.
So them-
I just get
That music
excited.
of 40
Like, I
years
get
between one
excited.
another.
I just get excited because that bridge that just happened there.
Well, maybe Jala and them should be running down Travis Scott for royalties. You know.
Why you sort of get dark?
No, I say, you know, I mean, it
But
might be worth
it
it.
mightn't be, you know.
It might be
It's-
worth
it's,
it. And I believe.
remember when you try to talk the segue by with drugs and things, the base of how the music come about. You understand? And what Firefly was singing about. You understand how I think them fellas, one of the things you just do is don't understand. Once you don't skew it with drugs, the man that write it. Once he experiment and come out of it, it might be how you just hear the music when you're in it, you know.
Oh.
That is why we hear it 40 years later.
So
it's the same drug, the drug has changed.
a man who intoxicated, and Travis Scott is he's
that.
He is a real proponent of the use of drugs, eh?
All right.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm saying that the headspace it has get with the music, might well be the same.
Never ever. Hey, I will give $1 million to anybody who ever anticipated that they would hear a Jala
In the middle
and
of a-
Travis Scott being mentioned
Can I
in the
take in a
same
little more?
discussion.
Can I take in a little more the White House though?
Alright. It's your-
I'm at love. She's got no place for losing. Fever in her brain. Demented lovers for real. It's just not the same. When you ride the white horse. When you ride until you love.
Well done, Spranger. See, this is why I like to have these convos with you.
Why?
You just think it's pointless, but I know there's always something that I could bridge back.
Why you
to.
shouting? Why you
Sorry,
shouting?
I'm
Why you
excited.
shouting?
I am excited. It happens when I get
Like you outside
excited.
the market.
What's
It
happening?
happens when I get excited.
What's
I'm
happening
sorry.
here? What's happening
I'm
here?
sorry. Okay, so this is the trap, right? We didn't do the drill yet.
No, yeah, you could find a just type in drill music instrumental.
Drill is essentially the hip hop of the North.
Yeah, that's the trap music of the North.
Oh,
But it started in Chicago. It's kind of spread into other parts like Philadelphia and so on. They nickname Chicago Chirac now because of the amount of violence that's taking place. So there's also called it Chirac music, but drill music is really the better, is the appropriate name for it.
Okay.
Purchase your tracks today.
All right, so you just got a taste of the drill music.
Yes.
What you were saying, Sprang? What
I said
immediately
songing,
came to
I
mind?
said, well, it obviously it's Chicago music. It's songing very much of Al Capone and them days, men in two-tone shoe. And car with running board and
Yes.
St. Valentine Day massacre stuff. And
Yeah.
But it's definitely Chicago.
So yeah, you see the city's history. That dark part of it seems to be rearing its head again.
yeah.
And the music reflects that because the point of drill music is to always sound dark.
Yeah. Well,
Always-
Scary.
Yeah.
most underground music will represent what's going on above ground.
Above ground. Yeah.
Oh, that is gorgeous. I like that. Underground music reflects what happens on ground.
Above ground.
Above ground.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And that's
You
so
see,
true.
there are a whole set of people. When people above ground refuse to believe that have people underground. You know?
Yeah.
Too many people, too much things happen and nobody don't believe. But the size of we underground, they have killed in Trinidad more people, more underground people, known only to the people, to the families of who get killed. That we don't understand.
Yeah. And that
We cannot be killing above ground people at that rate of speed,
Right.
and there is no outrage. Therefore, we kill the underground trying to surface, and that is why they get in.
And that is why the music is there to tell the stories.
The
Someone
music.
said via text platform, and I'm not familiar with these songs, so maybe you or Jude. Ataclan 3Gs.
No, I never heard that. I've never heard that.
Someone is saying that
What
3Gs released 2 or 3 years ago. This is from Ant in Port Spain. Hi, Ant.
Ant?
Along the same. This is when I react to the man name. I don't understand.
Wait, is a man?
Well, assuming I don't know.
Oh, Ant as in.
A-N-T.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's the person Super K. I'm
Yeah.
hoping. Okay, I thought it was Aunt somebody.
A-U-N-T.
A-U-N-T, yeah, you know, like a tanty, you know what I mean. Kind of thing. But what they're saying that's what equivalent to local trap or
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right, no problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Play it, Louis, you know.
If I can find it, let's see what happens if we try and find it.
How did this discussion start? I am very curious right now. How
the
did
same normal, the free talk.
the free? Oh, okay, right,
Plus, you was here for that
cool.
part, though.
Sorry, no, I wasn't there for that part.
Hello,
but
good
no.
afternoon.
She sent
I put it on never put up his own boy. Whole week. I find to get this thing on your own. Pick up this number at all. I want to hear wrong boy, please.
Okay.
Nah, you gotta be mad.
Don't make no comment.
Nah.
What was that? What just happened there?
Nah,
A man ring for a brown boy.
I
That mean, this discussion have nothing to do with you, you know.
and he have no care or no respect for what's happening here. That's what just happened. And then both me because whole week he trying to get
The
on.
man didn't want to hear no trap music.
I get
The
that.
man-
Nobody had to hear trap music.
Man
because
saying, yeah, I
we
listen.
taught all kind of music and get back
What is
to
happening?
firefighting.
What is happening on the television? What is going on there?
Hello, good afternoon.
To the panel, greetings and blessings.
Hey,
Good day,
Tobago.
sir.
Especially to you. It's good hearing you this evening.
All right, good afternoon, sir. How you going?
Yes. Professor Forbes,
Yes, darling.
I'm listening to the conversation. It's very interesting. And a song came to my mind I would like you to play for Mr. Hall. I don't know the artist's name, but the song is Cake on the Beach.
It's called what? The song is
Cake on the Beach.
Coat on the beach?
On the beach.
Oh, okay.
Kurt.
On the beach.
Okay.
Coat on the beach.
Kurt as in
Yes,
short
I
for
like
Curtis and the beach.
Is that King Curtis song?
I don't know.
You find
Hello?
it? Yeah, hold on. We're looking for it, you know, because we had...
You're singing a little muffled on my side. I don't know what's going on with yours here.
Yeah, it's bad on the side too. Alright.
Okay, all right. Talk to
Let me
you.
see if we can find it.
Kurt on the beach or King on the beach?
Kurt and the beach.
I
on
found
the
the
beach.
Ataclan trap.
Play the Ataclan trap.
I'm not sure. I'd never hear it, so I don't know if it had cussing in it.
Ataclan of course too?
Oh,
I don't know. We don't know. I didn't know Ataclan had a trap tune.
oh, we're looking.
Hey, the listener who suggests the song, it have seen in it, because I don't have time to listen to it now to give it a screen it. So let me know now. I found the song. I don't know.
Me know Ataclan of course.
Very risky. Dear God, don't let me lose my walk today. It's Ataclan and Jam Tech. It's called 3Gs. I've
No, that's no. Not while I'm in here. You can do it when you by yourself, right? But let me not do it.
Jude Campbel, me there, boy.
Let me not go down that road now.
Alright,
You understand
cool.
what I'm saying?
So that's the
But we get the vibes of the song. I would definitely go and listen to the rest in my own private time because it
Yeah.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, it
But
does.
it is not raw trap music though. There is a reggae element to it, and that kind of I guess Caribbeanizes it. But I get the trap elements. There is that
Yeah,
piano
one-
thing. They
one-
keep that toot 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 toot. That's another element of trap music that there's.
Sprang asked earlier, which is now a very interesting question. If this is what you find that the South and the North are using the dark, the criminal elements or the underground folks of the
But not
states
the
there.
underground, the
What is the equivalent for
antisocial
us?
element.
No, what is the equivalent? What is the equivalent?
Where?
Our criminals, if you have to word it like
Our
that.
criminal they have order and sense, you know. You have to understand the lack
What
of
would be the
GC
equivalent
process.
for them right now? Our
Well, you see, we don't. I've kept saying for I'm a gazillion years now. We
a gazillion exact. Go ahead.
yeah, precisely. Not any less or anymore. We do not have an art form to express anything but the desire to party.
Right.
Right. So out of, if you go to the so-called hotspots and so on, and you the artistics and the creatives in the area, when they have to express themselves, they use dancehall, reggae, that kind of thing to express themselves, or hip-hop. More often, though, is the dancehall and the reggae. So you'll find artists that are trying to imitate the Alkalines, the Cartels, you know what I mean. So if they have to sing about what's happening around them, it's always that music that they use. And I think it's telling that, you know, what was the name of that show? The Warlock show? The Warlock film?
Yeah.
Right.
The one from Dago.
No, it was Dago Martin.
I thought it was Pity Valley. Somewhere in the west side.
Oh, yeah. I think it was filmed up there, but it was supposed to represent East Port of Spain, I believe, the people in
okay.
Anyway, either way.
The local film Sprang.
Oh, the one when the fellas got in the maxi?
Lords of Warlock. Yes, the one you watched.
Something of Warlock,
Lords
right?
of Warlock.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's telling that throughout that show, throughout that film, every time they had to play music in the background, or they had to score the film, music to represent the element, there was no local music. It was all. So if let's say you were to package that film and send it,
you can't do that. A society with escapism prime on their mind, they will use anybody else's music.
Right. No, and I think that's the sad part, because, you know, I think it was a decent enough film, especially, and I keep hearing that the actors had no training, and that was the first time they'd ever done anything like that. So I applaud it.
No,
I don't
think Kirk Douglas had training before he do his first picture.
Oh, well, I don't know. I can't say. I'm not Kirk Douglas.
So
Kirk Douglas' friend either.
Why
But no, I don't know him. I don't know.
You understand what I'm saying?
That
I don't think your first picture you was a star.
No, but a lot of actors, a lot of Hollywood actors have a lot of training before they take the screen. They're trained in the arts. They've done something before.
Well, it's also that there is no formal nothing in there.
Well, right.
So that I find why we just hold the discussion that they wasn't trained. That make no difference. We know they wasn't trained. We know the only thing that is trained people to do here is to drop out.
Because you can be someone not trained. Like, for example, the one who the one who was cussing in traffic.
You can't train she.
Yeah, right. But you see that same reaction. Like, you can have people who are not trained, but when you put a camera in front of them, they still give off a realistic and a
commendable performance.
As opposed to somebody this is why people make the statement, because somebody who's not trained could also come across like your friend from traffic, who is like, she never cussed in she life.
Yeah. She stress pattern is the worst I've seen in this colony.
Exactly, and maybe she was trained. You know.
But the point that I get to now, is that if we were to package that film and take it abroad, take it to a film festival or so on, to try to market not just the film but our country, it would be so sad that Jamaican music will be so prevalent in it.
Yeah.
And so people who are looking on from outside, and this is a gateway into Trinidad, but when they look at it, they're hearing Popcorn and Cartel and and Idonia, and that's because we don't have any music here that
we don't
express
anything. We don't
anything other than
wine jam,
the desire to party. And nothing is wrong with party music. Don't get me wrong.
No.
Nothing is wrong with it.
But that is not the only emotion that we feel throughout the day.
And for some reason, we do not have the capability.
We're escaping.
From the time you put a mic in front of someone here and say, listen, sing something other than jump, wine, party, wine and girls, whatever. And they start with a Jamaican accent, or they go into trying to sound like Lil Wayne. Either one. They could never give you something starting from their own accent.
Well, there is
It's interesting.
There's no precedent for that, you know. There's no precedent.
Well, I mean,
we are mad people.
But I mean,
we have.
Yeah, why I say it's interesting.
We have telephone companies paying millions of dollars.
Oh Lord.
For people to be foreign, you know.
Telephone companies, is it?
Yes. Telephone entities.
You mean the talent shows that?
That level of talent show. If you want to be in a talent show with Auntie K or Hazelwood, you start to know what you're doing, you know.
Right.
You see, now that this is where it gets interesting. I mean, we started encouraging youth and people on a whole to express themselves more through words. We have seen the development where rap soul music did it, and rap so no, it's not really a thing. No, spoken word is the thing and whatever. And same,
Which is sad.
It's cool that we understand that through word, yes, but there's a point beyond that, and where it gets interesting and it leans to your point. Freetown and these guys started off doing spoken word and felt like they needed to tie in the music into it, and they too have not found a sound that reflects.
The background music is always either reggae or hip hop or some blend of the two.
That's interesting.
And the only reason,
Any emotional music except party.
yeah.
We don't know,
So
and
that
by
does
we
not
don't.
have-
Yeah,
And
Trinbago don't know
I've
how.
been saying for the longest while, we need to convene the most talented and creative musicians in this country.
come up with a new sound.
Somebody needs to get them together and say, listen, let's come up with a sound. I mean, I don't know, the interview went on earlier with the artist who was gifted. He had the interview?
He didn't do an interview.
Oh, he didn't? Okay.
No.
All right. Well, I was speaking to him earlier this afternoon, and from what people before he came in was trying to tell me that he was really trying to, he's in the midst of that now, trying to create a new sound. Then I heard the music, and I was like, yeah, I kind of get the rhyming pattern might be a little creative, but the background music,
It's all right.
it just sounds like hip hop. And the only reason that you're finding it difficult to call it hip hop is because someone is speaking with a Trinidadian accent as opposed to an American. But if you take his vocals out and they play the music, it'll just sound like hip hop.
There's a psychological thing there, though, Sprang. Why is it that we don't know how to create our own sound? I mean, the pain is genuine, the suffering is genuine, the experiences are real. It's not made up, it's not pretend. Yet we don't know how to we can't find a sound for that. Is it that?
No, we cannot.
Is it because we've been taught so much to dismiss those things and pretend like it doesn't exist?
No.
That now it's difficult for us to genuinely find a sound and create a sound that matches that.
That have nothing to do with it. We need immediate gratification. It is more difficult to develop your own song.
True.
Than
Than
had reggae already, I could sing that.
True. That's very, and the thing is, what needs to happen, and that's why I say somebody needs to purposefully. It's not going to happen organically. It's too many years and years, and it's not happening organically. So I think someone has to actually put the attention into doing it. Convene the musicians, tell the musicians this is what we're looking for. Go in the lab, come up with something, because the only way you're going to get people to follow it is if there's a hit song with it. Right, so like he just mentioned, instant gratification. Nobody wants to go out on a limb and
Nobody want to work hard,
and
work hard money
and bring out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 failing albums before it catches on later on in life. Like how Maximus Dan tends to always be ahead of the curve in the sense that, all right, EDM. He was the first local artist, or one of the first, I should say, to start mixing the EDM in the music.
Right.
And he beat on the door and fail, laughed at, and then boom. No, we have a road march as EDM.
And so he ain't getting that credit for that.
You understand what I'm saying? So people don't want to go through that. They don't want to do that, working hard and being laughed at and fail before it becomes something big. So I think that's the main thing that's stopping it. And use the musician to talk to your musician friends and them tell them, hey, what happened?
She jump in the thing.
She jazzing down the place too.
Yeah.
I like jazz because I like soul.
She jazzing down the place.
Come. But okay, now you have the artists who, because I think like guys like Bungie and the names, the big names or whatever, who puts in all this effort now into. Even over the weekend in Tobago Jazz, Destra went on stage and she Jazz was some weekends ago. What was Jazz? 3 weekends ago? Whoa, Gerelle. Anyhow, she went on stage and she threw shade at Gerelle to it.
You had that antidote.
Shut up. Yeah. She railed to it. She told off of the fact that she kept mentioning in her set that people come off for the rap.
Who's that fan?
Destra,
okay.
In the rap and because it was at the J. Cole concert, she told off of that. Point blank, she was toting off of that. And then you'd find that she kept mentioning this they have this rhythm with the Drake One Dance.
Yeah. One Dance or the work.
No, One Dance.
Okay.
It's
where they took a funky house song.
And then she started doing her songs on that beat. And you'll find that the argument with all these soca artists for the entire season was all these other artists, taking soca music and thing or whatever. So there's this desperation to cling to something that sounds like us. Yet there's also this interest now to own something when other people build the hypothesis. So now you have artists experimenting with the Afro beats and trying to think back with soca, and then they come up with this crazy title called
Caribbean House?
No, Afro Soca.
Oh, okay.
Where Ola was pushing that ahead and whatever. So it's not that we're not afraid to do the work, because they'll blatantly tell you, the artists will blatantly tell you, this is the direction we're going.
No, but they're not doing. You see, they aren't interested in really creating a new sound. What they're interested in doing is building their brand internationally, and they feel the way to do that is to mix what they do with what is already.
Yeah, they feel piggyback does work better than creating.
So they're not trying to create a new sound. They are just okay. Well, I want to bust out internationally. I can't sing jump and wave.
Everybody does interview and say they want to bust out internationally and want Billboard and thing, you know.
Yeah. That's what it. And I hate to break this to soca artists and to people who espouse this view.
But
the reality is, our soca music is very similar to African sounds.
And there's a reason for that.
So when you hear Afro beats, they are not imitating soca.
Exactly, yeah.
It is more close. It might probably be more appropriate to say you are imitating them. You understand? So, because that song that Drake sampled to create One Dance is a song called Do You Mind by an artist called Kyla. That was a huge funky house hit in London in like 2008. You can go anywhere without hearing that song. That's a huge, monster tune. Now, I was there at the point in time, and I kept telling everybody around me that, hey, that funky house is soca, you know. Funky house is so, that Trinidad music that they just taken. And then a Ghanaian guy sat down with me and kind of educated me on how the funky house sound evolved. And he played some of the music that it originated from. Then people never hear about no soca. I mean, they wasn't imitating no Colin Lucas or something like that. That was just the natural sound that came out of certain parts of Western Africa at the point in time.
I want to give the listeners a sample. I want to play the Kyla for them so they understand what, sort of make sure they know what's going on, right?
I need to know, where do you wanna go? 'Cause if you're down, I'll take it slow, make you lose control. Baby, would you like to spend the night, the whole night, And maybe, if you play it right, you can be my guy. The whole night, the whole night, the whole
So this is the Kyla Do You Mind that Jude was just making reference to. And then there's the rap artist Drake, who recently released a song, One Dance, and he sampled this. And
slow the beat down.
I'll find it for you because you know how to make sure you're up to date with
No, but that's very difficult to find. Drake's music on YouTube is very difficult
right now,
to find.
yeah. But I'm trying to see if I can at least find the instrumental so that they have an idea of what it thing.
Because what they do, they just basically slowed it down, and people hear the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do and swearing that it's soca that he heard and sampled to make that Do You Mind track. But it's actual funky house music that he just slowed down. And the funky house wasn't a rip-off on soca. It was built on African music, house music on a whole.
This is the Drake.
Soca, and we had house music, you used to call it South, you know.
Is that for
real? Yeah. This is around the time of our studio.
Okay.
South was the music, soca and house.
Because the two go together. They're married, kind of like how new age soca could, sounds a lot like EDM, and they could go together and they could help each other.
Yeah.
This is the
Drake one.
The Drake version, right? What is it?
So that beat in a Yamaha synthesizer.
That beat in a Yamaha.
You can press a button number one.
Yeah, that beat in a Yamaha synthesizer, which originally they get from Brazil.
Oh, you see?
Here it is. Never mind. It's the same one. Sorry, I thought it was something else. I was trying to find the part of how they put Kyla's voice in it now. Where the Drake film there. But yeah.
So yeah.
But the problem with that, I mean, you see, we understand we taking the 4 hours to go England by plane.
4 is about 9 hours to reach England by.
When I say 4 hours, it was 14.
Oh, okay.
But the point I'm making is that, and everybody see where because they're jumping up plane and going England with a global village, and yet still they feel that the music separate.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, and you know, and this is kind of it's tied into this new concept of cultural appropriation that is trying to be that people in the Western world are trying to make a big thing now, where people feel as if they have some ownership of elements of culture and that nobody else has a right to use it, and nobody who does not.
Yeah, but we just play violin.
Yeah.
Stradivarius from Jamaica.
Yep.
But look at our steel van, how the layout is. That's orchestra. The layout itself is orchestra music. That's how strings are.
There's only one.
Your front violin,
There's
your
only
second
one.
violin.
There's only one way to organize as. Was playing music in other coming in a particular
that's
way?
That's what a lot of people are trying to hold on to now, and they feel as if they need to give permission to artists to use certain things. They need to, if you didn't ask me, if I didn't sign off on it, you shouldn't be able to use it. Well, first of all,
then it shouldn't be recorded.
No, it shouldn't be in the world.
I don't know if you all had heard about the incident with the student in the United States, and I think it was San Francisco, some one of those universities, where it was a white boy with dreads, and this black young lady accosted the man and started to berate him.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Saying him using dreads was racist and it was cultural appropriation, and it's an element of black culture. That,
she really attacked that boy, yo.
Right, and then she had it's just like the soca artists who think that when they hear house and funky house and Afro beats that they are mimicking soca music, and the reality has to be brought to them that that's not true. It's the same thing. The reality had to be brought to her that dreads Nordic people had dreads. If you look at drawings of Vikings, they were all were white. Oh God, we know how Nordic people look. No, imagine back
more
then.
white than that.
You can't get more white than that.
Beige really is the color.
They had they had dreads in the hair, dreads in the beard, everything, right? It originated in Egypt, and it's one. There's an argument as to exactly what the people of ancient Egypt look like.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's not a Caribbean thing. It's not it's not an Ethiopian thing.
So
It's
a black thing.
That black woman, well, it looked like everybody have all of a sudden. That's what worrying me.
Be desperate to own something.
Yeah.
We climbing on one another back
it's
to
silly.
invent Kokyoko.
It's silly. It's silly.
Yeah,
So the music.
I remember when Aloe did sing for the Prime Minister. A woman said that She's Royal is a black song.
Yeah, when he sang
She's Royal by
maybe he was, well, first of all he was berated because he's a whole PNM and he's singing for but then they were trying to say that
it's a black song.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that
education is a very precious thing. Eh?
That's not the problem. Education to everybody is a very precious thing.
Mm-hmm.
Education to we mean how much passes we get.
Yeah. Or what degree?
Where is the point now where everybody go in university and everybody have degree and things.
Yeah.
But if they have nobody, they teaching the work.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that the problem is now we have a bag of boss and a bag of office manager that don't know what they're running.
Yeah. So everybody learning the theory, but nobody's versed in the practical.
Exactly. Because and that is the problem. That's why they're killing and planes stick him up in these areas. The areas where the normal worker would have been going to work with a bag with a little icy hot and full sandwich. They don't want them again.
Right.
You have to put on half a suit
Yeah.
and dress up like Miss Mary Sofoot.
Like how?
Like Miss Mary Sofoot.
Got it.
And you know, you had to have
Just
the
clearing that up.
degree like it was a thermometer. But the point is the
Like
work.
what?
I had a degree like it's a thermometer. But the point about the work is the work must have strata and layers of work.
Yeah.
So that this man here could control the 6 men to do a product. And he and other men like the other officials could come together and do a next product for somebody higher than them. There are no strata.
I personally believe that, this might be going off topic, but I think that there's a conspiracy by it. I don't know if it's the states or if it's just the education, the bodies of higher education. But there's a conspiracy to make everybody believe that everything needs to be taught in a classroom, when 99% of the functions that human beings perform every day in the working world, an apprenticeship could teach you.
Yeah.
You understand?
We had better workmen. I remember when
You really think that you really think that that's being deliberately done?
Yeah.
That's how they do education. It's just like
people are trying to profit off of it. That's why.
That's how, because you have to understand there is no work that is not guided by the price of the work, That is, if you want a manager, you have to work out that he had to have X amount of things to get X amount of money to make sure you only want 2 people apply. So it had to be a conscious effort to keep people out of the work.
And the thing is, nothing...
We could end up with stupidity if Donald Trump become president, because he had no respect for sense and thing, He can't hold no...
He don't have respect for nothing.
He can't hold no logic and thing, All them fellas who went Harvard and is politician and have logic, they had to pelt them out the window for because he just mad.
But you think...
It's also not because he don't have that kind of control. He had governed down. Like people who went Harvard and things, so everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
The page he on, only he on
because
that page.
But no, actually no. The thing is, the scary thing is that he is relating to somebody and somebody.
A lot of people.
And this is where it gets scary. And you're saying this is interesting now because you find that you're seeing the realities of book and
control.
Book sense and just sense. You understand what I mean? Of course, the people who he is relating to, I can't imagine that these people have the same degrees and
they do. A lot of them do.
But you have to understand the workout education system in the whole world. That a lot of the education you get is not connected to nothing in the real world.
No, but it's not just that though. The real reason why a lot of people are supporting of Trump is because he was born by the world of political correctness.
Right.
He exists because political correctness has gone crazy.
Right.
And people are sick and fed up of everything being policed, everything that you say, everything that you... And everybody, liberalism in the United States has now become this regimented thing where, listen, we set the order. Today, this is cool. You fall in line. If you don't fall in line, you're either racist or you're bigoted.
We put a title on you.
We shame you. We demonize you. And people are sick and fed up of that. People want the ability to wake up and say, listen, I don't want Muslims in my country. I'm not saying that is right or wrong, but the point is, they want
to wake up and say that.
They want to be...
They want the freedom to say
exactly. And that is why because a lot of people who are enamored with him, if you ask them over and over exactly what are his policies, what is it about his policies that drives your support, and they can't answer you. They keep saying, he will get to that stage later. When he wins the nomination for the Republicans and he's actually going up against Hillary Clinton, he will put his policies on the page. Okay, fine, but why are you supporting him until then? And it's really just because he's not like everybody else. Everybody else is this paint, but except Bernie Sanders, who is the Democratic version of him. Everybody else is paint by numbers, cookie cutter. They all fall in line.
Right.
They politically correct him
exactly.
And look, you see, we're seeing it here again, where even in the politics, but in the states, people can find somebody that they can relate to.
Right.
Back to the trap and the drill, they find a sound that they can relate to. I mean, you made a mention just now when you asked his supporters why you following and whatever. We had the same thing happen here for our elections when they were giving you the same answers. But I don't think it's a matter that they relate to.
Nah, they just we don't vote for people. We vote against.
We just vote out people. We don't vote
in anything. We haven't voted in anything in quite some time.
So we're seeing again not only in the music but also in the politics now that we just
no. Well, I don't understand.
We don't deal with.
We don't ask for a higher standard. We don't demand
nothing
more from anybody. We just take what
we get. We don't demand that. We want something else. We want better, you know.
Yeah.
We want something else.
We always want something else. No, and we'll say we want better, but we just voting something else. We want better. We don't feel that is better, but it's not what was here before. So let's put it
and
in.
we'll go along with whatever.
Because my point is, 2010, we voted a party out because of corruption. In 2015, we voted in the same party we voted out in 2010 because of corruption of who we voted in 2010.
But no, they will say though that the head of the snake in 2010 was removed. So now it's a different animal they're voting in 2015.
But that's not the point, you know.
Common sense would
tell you
dictate that if elements of that snake.
So I am saying
present,
by 2020, the people who we vote out in 2015 liable to get the nod.
Of course, people will forget. They will forget. They will forget that.
They will be glad to forget because the thing is it worked too hard.
Yeah.
Working to get it right is too hard.
Someone suggested via text platform, Nappy Myers could be a sound that we should be able to relate to. What do you say, Sprang?
Are you saying he's saying reggae? I've never heard anything.
Nappy Myers?
Version of soca.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Oh gosh, this is Nappy, and I think I'm thinking of his son Levi. Nappy Myers. Oh,
He said would have made it for us long time.
Oh, if he was alive, he would have developed that sound,
Maybe,
that new sound.
No, he wouldn't. He had stopped. You know. Remember, he arranged 87. He arranged Sparrow LP. You know. So he did get back in mainstream stupidity. The problem is not that. The problem is when we had all that.
We still wasn't interested.
We didn't meddle. People like Nadie Lafond and Frankie Atwell and the very Nappy Myers and James Lloyd and all them fellas.
We didn't care.
We didn't care.
We didn't care.
We didn't care. Dave Elcock and his wife and all of them. All of them was in an era when there was a parallel music which I have always spoken about. It is an Andre Tanka stuff and so on.
Yeah,
there was a
you think he would have been able to?
Yeah, he more than anybody else. But there was a parallel music and it just did not gel.
I think sometimes we get carried away as well. We got to remember that this is a very small nation, and in the grand scheme of things, we have one art form or one genre of music that is, I would say, somewhat internationally recognized. How many other countries could really say that?
Exactly.
We have 1.3 million people, How many? They have big countries, humongous nations out there with 20 million, 30 million, 40 million people contributed nothing significant culturally to the world.
I have said
we want soca and we want our next one now.
But no, I think there's no sound that helping the people. Like there's an individual thing we're dealing with you psychologically that there isn't a sound you could cling to outside of a party mode. No human is designed. There's a good and bad in everything. We can celebrate stuff and we can mourn stuff and we can feel bad about stuff. But why don't we have that sound?
We don't have that sound because of our attitude. Most people.
But I get that. The whole world that our positive sound is featured and everybody knows and can connect it back to us. And that's a great accomplishment.
But more than that though is I'm trying to think of other nations where other countries I've visited where I could think where I feel that they have that sound of their own. I can't think of many other. I mean, in the UK there's UK grime and they kind of have their own thing going on there.
No, you see that is a brainwashing thing. We have a music that is connected to the first 6 weeks of the year. And after that, they disconnect it for 6 weeks again, and then we continue.
Everybody
then we continue with the world.
No, but okay, let's say,
Consciously, they don't play nothing after Lent, so that the music or the drilling we had does ease out.
But that's gone. That's gone now. The era of soca being
only around Carnival.
That's done now. That's done.
No, but that is not done.
No,
what is the activity that goes with soca music after Carnival time?
But that's the thing. Soca music has changed and it has evolved to the point now where
we can't hear it outside of Carnival.
Yeah, the melodies have changed. It's not Super Blue.
No,
flag party.
I get what you're saying, Jude. I get what you're saying. That we can hear it outside of the Carnival season.
And it will still be party.
But I also get what Sprang is saying. It's still not the full of it.
Of all countries.
Exactly.
It's still not the full of
Carnival.
Soca music is really structured for Carnival. Outside of that, we still wine, we still go to fest, we celebrate on it, but it's not the same.
And that's true, and that's good. Because I think soca is now developing subgenres. Soca pop, there's and the problem I think with all soca is that we are ignoring the festival. Everybody's making groovy soca that can resonate. We have soca now where you can jump in your car at 7:30 in the morning, start it and drive down the road listening to it and be a nice vibe.
Baron stayed with that his whole life.
But that was in the minority. In the 90s, soca music was, if you're not in a fete waving a flag, you really have no time for that. There's no.
The problem with that is that you have to go somewhere.
I love that we are all into this. I need to stick up in here so that we can take on news. And when we come back, we'll continue with this. Also, when we come back, we'll open up the phone lines and hear what some of our listeners think. Because a lot of people have been listening and interested, but now I want to get some contributions as well. But all that will happen when we come back. All right?
Sensible contribution.
Okay.
This is Brother Mudada, and you are listening to 91.1 Talk City. Talk City. Talk City. Talk City.
the sunshine, bold and bright. From pole to pole and corner to corner. Hold on, behind the bridge and across the border. Hold on, plain of colors, rhythm and music, yeah. Soul connection, chain of love. Sayamanda, Sayamanda, Sayamanda,
Your first choice, your only choice. Talk City 91.1 FM. The song in the background is Justin Bieber's Sorry, and this is one of those songs that we kind of clinged on to for its soca beats. Take it in a little bit.
You know I try, but I don't do too well with apologies. I hope I don't run out of time, cause someone call a referee. Cause I just need one more shot, have forgiveness. I know you know that I made those mistakes maybe once or twice. And by once or twice, I mean maybe a couple of 100 times. So let me redeem on myself tonight. Cause I just need one more shot, second chances. Is it too late now to say sorry? Cause I'm missing more than just your body.
So this is Justin Bieber. What the hell? This is the Justin Bieber Sorry that people are saying, but he take me soca music. And in the fight, you had an artist like Kimber who decided, you know what? Let's do what we Trinis know to do best and do our own version of it. And what topics do we use, Jude?
You going on now? Are you gonna play that? This is how they did.
Jude, what topic do we use?
We talk about a social commentary where we talk about, violence and its
wine
impact.
and jam and party and
Oh, okay, and that too.
This is what Kemba did to the Sorry around Carnival time.
To be free, there's so much energy there inside me. See them gal bubbling up, watch them bumpers erupt, beating crazy. Nowhere else can you see anyone if that is we come and join in. I'll be there once a year, no second chances. So if the man wants a wine, I'll just give him a wine, it's a nothing. And if the cup run empty, we go full in for free, cause we liming. And when the sun starts up on it, the soca and rum keep we moving. So I'll be there once a year for second chances. Go and tell my boss that I'm sorry. No, but I'm not missing out this party. Oh no. If you want, you're welcome to join me. Cause we on this paper, the world to see. Getting on by the sea and the
Which is our discussion today. Jude is giving the argument.
Discussion that, no?
Jude is giving the argument. Unless it's party, that's the only sound we know.
Well, the problem is not that.
Wait,
the
now I can
problem
finish. It's the Friday show. Gerelle, Agapitas Forbes. Dennis Augustus, you finish, you right, that's when he sings Sprang Along Hall. Guest co-host for today, Jude Campbell, accidentally so. But whatever, we are going to open up the phone line. 6224911 is the number to call to weigh in on the discussion. But Sprang, you were saying?
I think we should rest.
Rest on what exactly? Rest on fighting the soca dream, because the soca, I think, can stand on its own. The soca is fine. This desperate desire now to evolve it and to claim it is...
The point I'm making on is Jude's point, and it's not simply Jude's point. It is a universal point in Trinidad. We just go a funeral now and ask who playing. What DJ playing? We just go awake and men with guitar and quattro singing calypso. We afraid we self. You understand? So that there is no sound. Then the whole underground in Trinidad, they vex, they confused, they tired, and they fed up. Of the vague platitudes of it. I mean,
yet we have not found a sound.
We cannot
to reflect that.
Yes, we will not. The young people ain't waiting to them going to invent a song.
Yeah,
you
see, and I think as well, music production. The producers are the ones that have to drive this. The artists will sing whatever the producers, in whatever direction the producers take them, right? So the artists have the lyrics, they have the sounds in the head. We've started to finally go away from the fake accents. So now you have artists singing they might be singing on hip hop rhythms or reggae rhythms, but they're using for the most part a Trinidadian accents, and that's okay. So the artists it's not the musicians are the ones that are not there. And the thing is, music production has become a thing where a man could open his laptop.
But I'm not going to say that you're asking musicians to do this, but it's not really. Most of the times it's not producers, musicians who are producers.
Right. So the producers, they learn how to use Pro Tools and they could mimic a trap beat in 10 seconds. They do that and they say, hey.
You put artists with a big name on the track.
And boom. Yeah, and the local artists, the ones without a name, they're so desperate to get out there, and they so, they think, okay, well, this is the rage out there, the trap music is the thing, so let me, come on, jump on our rhythm, because we judge anything by how well it's, how close to foreign it sounds.
Or how close to the original it sounds.
Yeah, that's, we don't.
Jamaica have a history in the music of singing anything in reggae.
Right. Yes.
Taking any man's or anybody.
Any kid, where they will sing John 3:16.
Yeah.
I will sing it in dance hall.
Right.
But we have our way. We just want to sing the original, and boldface enough to say we sung better than the original.
And that's the thing. If you hear a local rapper, I've heard people come, boy, you gotta hear this guy. I ain't gonna call the names because I ain't wanna diss nobody out here. But yeah, you gotta hear this. He real bad. One listener is like, what's so bad about him? It's because you know what they find real bad? His American accent not breaking. His American accent talking authentic. So he sounds very close to what they know as him.
They almost like we subconsciously demand that
imitation.
We be somebody else.
Imitation.
Yeah.
Chromatics used to get a lot of problems in the beginning, and he probably still does. A lot of criticism from people who didn't like his funny music. He's some kind of stupid because he put in too much of a Trinidadian accent and twang into how he's singing. The same artists make it happen. He has a lot of people. No matter how powerful his lyrics are, a lot of people hear it and they just kind of turn off because it sounds weird to them because he's singing in a Trinidadian accent, and that to them he's himself out there.
You cannot be yourself because I am telling you,
How do we fix that though? How do you
cannot fix that? Let me tell you something.
I'm serious. This is a serious question. How can we see here? Because for example, as a vocalist, one of the things that a barrier that you have to cross in early stages, and I had to deal with somebody recently, as recent as last year. They wanted to do a pan song for the season. Gave them the song, but this person was not used to hearing themselves. Now the person, family into the music, studying music right now at the university, in the choir, travel with the choir and all kind of thing, but is not used to hearing. It's a girl. She's not used to hearing herself. right? So I'm like, how you decide that you want to sing? You get so comfortable when you're singing in a choir, you hear people around you, so you could just, your voice and who you are could get lost in that. So I told her, and when she had to do this song, I was like, listen to me, this is not going to work out. The producer and I had a discussion separate. I was like, this is not going to work out. If she does this, it's going to be bad, right? So I had to hold that conversation with her. It's not a matter of, and it's interesting because you study music, you come from music, this is what you're doing, this is what you plan on doing, but you're not even familiar with your own voice. I say,
how comfortable hearing your voice.
Familiar and comfortable. I'm like, so I can't let you do this to yourself. It is going to have negative reaction. So I like, you can get another song another year, but as of right now, I will not let you do this to yourself. You have to go back and do the basics. You know, they teach you that as an announcer too. Record yourself speaking, play back to yourself, because a lot of people not used to hearing themselves. Anybody who come and be like, I want to be a singer, but you don't like to hear yourself, that's an issue. But there's an exercise so that you have to keep listening to yourself over and over and think. I'm asking now if there's a way for us to break this psychological thing now of
yes, I believe there is.
Us accepting who we are so that we can grow and build and finally find a way for us to show our emotion that is outside of party.
I believe there is, and that's why, and I'll come back to the thing is, you need to speak to your musician friends. It has to be driven by the musicians. The musicians have to invent the sound. The reason why it is difficult for somebody to hear a rap beat, hear themselves singing, and feel comfortable when they hear it played back is because no matter how you try, the reason you like hip-hop is because you've heard Americans sing it. And you will keep comparing what you are doing to what brought you to the genre in the first place. And it will always sound incongruent. Because if Lil Wayne is what you like, or Jay-Z is what you heard and liked, when you rap on the same beat that Jay-Z rapped on, in your own accent and your natural twang, it just doesn't sound right. The flow isn't natural. Nothing about it is you. So we need to get the musicians to develop a sound that the artists can identify with, and they can sing like themselves, sound like themselves, and it be completely unique. Because when you hear it, you're not comparing it. You're not, when you rap if you play an instrumental and you tell a man rap, when he raps, he's going to imagine it and compare it to what he knows rap sounds like. And when he sounds like himself, when he does his own thing, it sounds incongruent. Take away the rap beat, give him something different. So get your musician friends together. Tell them, hey, go. We do the jazz thing for 1,000 years now. Let me ease off the head limitation and try a new thing now, boy.
Sprang, where are you at? Sprang, say you over this. I'm done.
I feel it can't be done unless for everything else. We can't take out the singing alone or the music alone.
You mean it's a cultural issue?
That's the problem. It's wanting to be Yankee funny. Wanting to be Yankee.
That's something you've always said, that we always have this want to look like Uncle Sam.
We doesn't know. We have our way. We just compare everything. We so vicious that we had discussed raising this speed. But we bring gun. We in the middle of the work. We in the middle of the work. We doing anything. We even discussed that in the middle 70s, coming down to the 90s, nearly every car was front wheel drive. So what it teach we in we learner drivers thing to read and thing, when you're in a skid, turn into the skid. You can't turn into the skid if the power of the car on the steering. You have to turn away from the skid. We don't understand nothing. America had that, we bring that. But America does put on thing to solve a problem.
With studies.
I'm not going to say with research.
When we put on the thing, we now get the problem. So we just had to solve two problems. To America one, and look at this as America could spend money to solve.
We implement things that sound nice. Yeah, that sound in theory like it sounds good.
And as far as research
Let me tell you
goes, to
something.
prove why we should go with this
Let me
because
tell you
I want
something.
this.
The
Not
powers that be.
necessarily because it's
You're lucky to get research, Gerelle.
I've had people on my social media within the last 2 weeks
No.
who've been conveniently finding theories and stories and whatever.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about with the implementation of the policies in the first place. Them things not even research backed. You're talking about they're making talking on your cell phone a big deal. Why? Ask anybody. So, how many accidents caused by cell phone usage? And so if a cell phone is a distraction, what about eating? So shouldn't the fine be the same for eating if your hand is occupied?
If you're doing anything else while driving.
But they don't care. They don't care. They just hear it's everything foreign.
They have a thing
so
they're
let me do
saying
it here.
they have a thing they're saying to that world's best practice. What that mean, my God?
He asked God. He went straight to God.
I had to go, but who else I go ask?
Like the world have 1 foot, so the one shoe does fit the whole world now. Boy.
Yeah, boy.
The world have 1 foot size. So you could buy the same shoe and fit everybody.
World's best practice, boy.
I mean, I'm not saying that we should be allowed to use cell phones and drive. I'm just saying that when they made a big hullabaloo about that, what was the reason behind that? It's just somebody wake up a day and hear, hey, they had that in foreign, bring it here. They want to generate some positive news stories. They want to say they're doing something. They want to
But
find.
people have been adamant about trying to prove that cell phone is a bad thing and the direction of technology on a whole is a bad thing. So it's just one of the avenues you'd prove how cell phones are damaging us as humans.
But the thing is, and America has a whole host of problems. They're a mad people country, as far as I'm concerned.
But most developed countries that they eating themselves.
Right, yeah, right.
Most developed countries is a cancerous state.
They've reached a point where they developed, but their development is now eating them alive. Because we as human beings don't understand balance. We don't understand that, we can't solve every single problem on the planet. Even if you can, there's always a cost that might be too much to pay. You understand? We don't understand that, especially in the United States, especially in those developed countries. They don't understand that. But I guess when
then we go to the 47 million.
No, well, we just going to the playway.
The 4 million, Mr. Hall.
Then we go to the 47.
We're going to go to the playway.
The 47 million.
I promise this time we'll open up the phone lines because we just keep going our way. But it's a Friday show. Gerelle, Sprang, and guest co-host Jude for today. Right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. Your first choice. Your only choice. Talk City 91.1 FM.
There's music in your soul, minerals in your style, children full of beauty, worth way much more than oil. While history unfolds, don't let a good thing spoil. Oh no,
I apologize. Seeing the crime rate rising infinite. Everywhere people around me, I drop like fly, yet I live in it. I look to the sky and ask Almighty, when will it finish? Is this a sign of the last days, the last few minutes? Cause the land overrun with knives and guns and murderous gimmicks. Good people are run wild, bad people must murderous limits. I keep my faith and wait cause I know evil can't win it. But this is not the time and the place for the punks and timid. In a world that's supposed to be peaceful, every little youth and killer. None of them have respect for the laws of land, them a real blood spiller. Them forgot when the parents lay them down on the beds and pillar. Saints and grow up to be a good boy, but them get bigger and pull trigger. Every question gunshot is the answer, well go figure. Them don't want to dig deep in the heart, searching for the goodness like an oil rigger. You're a grave digger. Well, this message from Bunty Garland and the one Godzilla. Almighty Father is telling you,
there's music in your soul, minerals in your style, children full of beauty, worth way much more than oil. While history unfolds, don't let a good thing spoil. Oh no, can I walk the savannah at least, buy my pullover in peace, without being trailed by a full detail of 10 bodyguard and police? Must something in the island breeze, make violence spread like disease. Cause most juvenile guns out and wild with no respect for OGs.
can I walk on a halfway tree with nobody else but me? With cash in a pocket and nobody a watch it and nobody a target me. Well, it must be the deep blue seas that spread to the bun and the cheese that make everybody up in the islands want grab up something and squeeze.
Can't imagine how the sword them sharp. Man, I hunt for the bacon shark. Should I heed advice when the place did nice? That before the whole thing start. Now every man stop take talk, and every man start think dark. Out in the street, blood spray like paint when Juvie man in car.
Long time Kingston tell we to put down the gun from Port of Spain to Hellshire. Don't get caught up making people head roll round like Michelin tire. From grandmother ball and grandson of all, your soul going to burn in fire. Don't let them get your life and draw your soul like it's a vampire.
There's music in your soul, minerals in your soil. Children full of beauty, worth way much more than oil. While history unfolds, don't let a good thing spoil. Oh no, no. You tripping the thing, you get punished and whip him. Some little boy gun to life got the pippin'. Equip with a clip on the thing where them shipping. The way you frighten your heartbeat starts skipping. Father forgive him. So young he doesn't know a life worth living. So strong he doesn't know the strength you give him. So long a loser that he don't know winning. Drowning in the deep and he don't know swimming. Surrounded in the streets by a life of sinning. With no one that believes that the light shines in him. And when the thing a beat, every light start dimming. Ready to go eat and if lunchtime skipping. Nobody can speak now, try talk with him. Angel of mercy, make you please walk with him. To save anybody that cross path with him.
6224911 is the number to call. This is Talk City 91.1 FM. Remember, when you get onto the program, turn on your radio so we don't get that uncomfortable feedback. It's the Friday show. Gerelle, Sprang, Jude, guest co-host for today. The song in the background, Damian Jr. Gong featuring Bunji Garlin. It's called The Message. I don't know if this is a good example
Of what the message?
Oh, no.
What is the message?
No. He's upset. And he did for spite. This is the same thing Jude debating. I know this is what Sprang does to me, you know. I know he does do it, it's like a reaction, but it's only after when I start reacting is then I realize Gerelle is
emotional.
I am quite. I can't lie.
It's the estrogen.
They just live on Facebook, you know. The social media has them in a vice.
That's why I skip it. But if it's a good
Let's
example
see
of one,
who's there and who's listening. Hello, good evening.
Gerelle, Sprang, and Jude.
Hey, Panama.
Yes, man. You know, I watch these Brazilians with their football over the years. They try to copy German style and sort of a North European style over the years, and never could win a World Cup, never could win a tournament. It's only when the Brazilians started going back to their natural, authentic way of playing football, they started to win tournaments again. But there was a long period where, having copied the European styles, moving away from your DNA, you couldn't do a damn thing. And it's the same thing with Trinidadians and music and the arts in general. You can't move away from your DNA. Somehow, Gerelle, to answer your question directly, what could be done? Somehow we have to find a way to get people to love themselves again. Love yourself as a Trinidadian and Tobagonian. And I feel one of the ways to do that is to get people to understand the history of the country, or maybe the island, because they were two separate entities for many years. I think that's the way. You know, get people to understand what we are about, because the history of this country is so fascinating. And not just that, the same way the Jamaicans have always seen a beauty in the way how they speak. So therefore they've been able to commercialize that. We too have to find a way to see the beauty in the way we speak as Trinidadians.
Everybody else can be talk good English.
Yeah. All right, so I'll listen up here, guys.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Panama. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Madam Gerelle and Mr. Sprang.
Good day, sir.
Ma'am Gerelle, I didn't forget to have so much on my plate. The guy was supposed to drop the song, so but I have so much on my plate for the last 3 weeks, but I didn't forget to.
That's okay. I just been very busy.
I will come before the month done.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right.
But I see your genre. Your genre is fan song. Because I listened to you for the last 2 months, and I see you love fan. So I have to give you some fan song.
No, then you have to go back. You have to go back and do more research then, darling.
What genre you like?
Wait, this is not the conversation we have on the People Radio now. You in there a whole discourse going on about the
Is
people
my
and the
phone
music.
card running?
Oh.
But is my phone card running?
Oh, unfortunately,
Okay.
you took the opportunity to call in the middle of a conversation. You
Save-
have no contribution to the discussion.
Save
on
your
music.
phone card. Save your phone card.
And it's probably-
Save your phone card.
and it's probably not an input. Nothing but Jude was right. Right?
That as bad as I
Jude
want.
was right.
That as bad as I want to hear, Brong boy.
Jude was right. Right?
Why you shouting?
Jude, no, that's
She
not
just get
right.
excited.
That is amazing.
We're right.
That is amazing.
I can only imagine how this coming through on
Oh
somebody
my
radio now.
gosh,
Yeah, this-
oh my god.
This song like is a serious discussion, eh?
That is amazing.
But as
Come like the man who
How
asked for Brong boy.
selfish can that be?
That is why we where we are, you know.
Exactly that.
Just I wanna talk about the first caller's contribution, right?
Panama. Mhm.
And I agree with a lot of what he's saying in terms of loving yourself is a key component, right? But I also feel that sometimes we need to dispel this notion that Jamaicans are by very nature, much more patriotic than we are. Now, I understand where the stereotype comes from, and if you ever go abroad and you see a Jamaican walks into a store, and or anywhere that he requesting service, and he will talk in his accent, they will not understand him. They say what, and he repeat exactly what he said in the same way. A Trinidadian walks in, and before they could even before they have to say what was, we already trying to mimic the accent. We already trying to go, hi, good day, my name is,
Yo, now I have a friend, every time I call him, I'll be like, just now, stop. You see, that way doing it. We're not having this conversation like this.
Yeah, we and so for that reason, that is one element of Jamaica. But in Jamaica, they have a lot. They've been, even since the 80s, they've been fighting battles with their own self-identity as well. There were points in time when they had broadcast quotas put in place on their radio stations because they were not supporting their own music. And there were people who, even right now, where we find we just play a bagger dancehall, and that, that is a sign of how much we hate ourselves. In Jamaica, they're having the same argument right now, the same discussion about soca, about people in Jamaica giving soca plenty forward, the carnival getting big, the government more accepting of soca music than dancehall, the banning dancehall in particular hotels, and so everybody's fighting their own battle in terms of self-identity. There's a movement of young Jamaicans now who embraced an American accent and don't like to talk in the patois and the you know what I mean. So they have a lot of problems with their identity as well. So it's not just a case of they act together.
They're not like
we are the ones struggling.
America, when you see America rest down cokes and juicy fruit in your country, that is the end of you.
Cultural hegemony is a huge thing,
Hubris, boy. That's frightening, boy.
Yes, so a lot of people are fighting with that hegemony or that hegemonic effect that American culture has on them. So it's not just us. It's not just we that had that problem identifying and loving ourselves all the time. But we are. I would admit.
I think all we had to do is listen to what the politicians saying with a pinch of salt. The politician, to my mind, since Dr. Williams, we rarely get a prime minister espousing various vantage points as a Trinidadian. Dr. Williams was essentially Trinidadian.
Right. And he made that, and that was part of his identity.
That was part of his identity. And the rest of these people pandering to the party,
right?
The party politics, and forgetting Trinidad as a whole. Yes,
Sprang. I think what you just said is so profound.
The people who running the thing, they don't make me Trinidadian.
Right.
My point is that like this week the Minister of Foreign Trade, the Minister of Foreign Trade, say it is so unfortunate that Jamaica,
like Gopi Spoon, right?
Yeah, Jamaica, stopped trading with we and so on.
They stopped, or they just want to.
They stopped. They take so they think of disadvantage. Okay. My point is that one of the worst reactions I ever hear is that say it is so unfortunate that we trade with. That's not what we had to do. let we get all your editing and tell we what is the position. If we laws wrong, a thing wrong and all kind of things, let we know what is the position.
What?
I see a man write an article and he make a point. How many people Jamaica want from Haiti and Hispaniola, the other problems? How much Trinidadians get put out?
Right.
I mean, we are the level of almost visa to go Jamaica. So that the real truth is that the news people creating a kind of imbalance that we vex with we own government and we know the facts.
We don't know the facts.
We don't know the facts. And that to my mind is an unfortunate thing. I tell you, look, the other day, 3 weeks ago, they talking about vehicle and all kind of thing. The Minister of Finance come on the radio and say, it was 877 or something, so or 785 or something so far, Prado. And it going up to 8 something. You want to see who go buy Prado. It was the favorite vehicle of the partnership government. It's for Chagam and Summit of the Americas. Under the PNM thing, they bring 4 million Prado.
He said a number, Bola.
2 seconds. Just hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm really enjoying this discussion, and it's very fair and broad-based compared to some of the other channels. Sprang is right. They have Jamaicans who come here under the SME, and I know it's a fact because I'm involved. And they have an approval to be a chef, and they want to get into a business that is diametrically opposite to what they come to do, financial services. And they vex that our central bank don't want to approve certain licenses and stuff. And they don't want to take the time to go back to Jamaica and apply for a new license, or what you want to call it, license, or whatever,
free movement
change of occupation. Yeah. And they just bold-faced as ever. Now, somebody was talking earlier about a Jamaican going to a store and speak in Jamaican in a particular kind of way. And a Trinidadian will go in to try to get you to understand. Two different behaviors completely. The Jamaican is not proud, the Jamaican is aggressive. You know, I'm a Jamaican and you have to understand me.
But
I'm a Jamaican and you have to understand me. And a Trinidadian is accommodating because it has nothing to do with unpatriotic.
But I understand that. But here the problem: they can't understand you if you speak standard English. Like if I go to a foreigner and I'm requesting service and I realize maybe I'm speaking too quickly for you to understand, I will slow my speech down and I will speak standard English. But I will not mimic your accent, which is what Trinidadians do, and that is not necessary.
Well, let us go too far, but the point is that it's safer than that.
Just one more point I want to make on that same line. I travel often to the States. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I find myself, if I speak proper English, because somehow for some reason Trinidadians don't speak at the tip of their tongue and it flings out. We kind of speak more, like throaty. And all I have to do is raise my voice slightly louder when I speak in Trinidad. And I speak with the same, when I say the words the same way and everything.
Precisely.
And they understand.
Excellent.
But many times sometimes we speak a little too fast.
Yeah, slow.
But if you speak louder, and Jamaicans roll their R's and things like that, so people understand what they're saying.
They just speak words that aren't words. So.
They have some words that are not words.
Yeah.
I know. They ever listen to Louis Bennett, Jamaican Labrish?
Yes.
They have a book on that?
Yes.
You know? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Colin.
No, I tell you, back to the point of the Minister of Finance. He said that was the choice of vehicle of the last government. I remember when Chogam done, we asked what is going to happen with these 50 vehicles. So we will give police and put some in ministry. And right after that, ministry had Prado dropping envelope. The mailman.
The mailman. It was to safeguard the couriers. It was to safeguard them. That's why they had to have such elaborate vehicles, because it's highly sensitive documents. Sprang. If the driver teeter, it could run off the road and write off.
Four brown envelope on our back seat. We sit down on the bench outside there, and a big Prado come with tint glass.
I remember you holding this conversation with me on the bench.
And I said, look. And the man jump out with 4 envelopes envelope and the guard by the boot and gone.
Yeah.
And you said what Franco meant.
No, but I mean, go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good day.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm listening to the discussion. Hold on 1 second, let me turn off this.
That helps. Thank you.
Considerate people today.
No, it always had them just don't get a chance.
Yes, the fact that you all say that we don't have our own sound. What is Calypso?
What is?
No. We said we don't have our own sound that reflects the ugly side of people.
The emotional
The
side.
emotional and the dark and the grimy side. We don't have a sound for that. And it stemmed from a conversation when we were exploring trap music and drill music, and even went as far as some of the dancehall music where the dark and the underworld even go as far as saying the criminal elements. There's a sound that they can emote through. We don't have that sound. Our music is soca and calypso, which can be used only in a festive environment.
Happy music. Essentially happy music.
Yeah, but Calypso encompasses happy music, sad music, social commentary.
Well,
I mean, why do we have to have something similar to what they have outside?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to. That's exactly the point. It doesn't need to be anything like what they have outside. The sound of itself doesn't need to sound anything like what they have. What we mean is that in the musical landscape right now, there is no art form, no genre of music here in Trinidad and Tobago. Like calypso music cannot adequately express what the drug dealers in whatever crime hotspot are going through right now.
And this is not only through the lyrics. We're not talking about the lyrics. We're talking about the actual sound,
of
music.
itself. Because if you listen to hip hop music that is like gangster rap or trap or drill or whatever, the sound itself gives off that emotion of darkness.
No lyrics on it, just the instrumental.
You could hear it's as if you're scoring a movie. They would find, even with no lyrics, they could find a sound that expresses an emotion. No Trinidadian, no local music right now born here can express it like those foreign art forms. That's what we're saying. And we need a sound that does that.
But why can't we do that within Calypso realm?
Well, this is okay. Can you think of a calypso that you think, because you're saying that we already have that? What calypso can you say reflects that?
Well, I'm just looking at Calypso from 1939, 1949. Come up the road. Things have changed.
If we remove now, this is removing the lyrics.
Yeah, we use it in different ways. I mean, when you listen to Kitchener as opposed to Douglas, it's not the same type of music.
Right.
Right?
No,
but they've expressed different things. Kitchener will express.
You are talking lyrics. Music. You're talking lyrics. We're talking calypso music. The sound of it. If I'm to take the same Douglas or the same Kitchener and remove the vocals on it and just listen to the music alone, I don't feel dark. I don't feel angry. I don't feel the music itself, the actual calypso music, not the lyrics that goes along with it, not the artists or the words or the thing. We're talking about the music itself, the sound.
So in other words, if we were to make a film, a local film that is depicting crime and the criminal situation in Trinidad and Tobago, and we were to score that film, there is no music that we could draw from right now, play in the backdrop of the drama that's taking place on screen that would adequately reflect it. That's what we're saying. There's no musical sound out of our country right now that you can score a movie, a crime movie or anything like that. We can't score that music. We can't score that movie with any sound that we have right now.
And you're saying that that is the case with American films and English films and French films.
So in other words, if there's a grimy South London crime drama, they have music that they make that it's called grime that you can play in the background and it will and they could relate to and they could hear it and it will reflect that emotion of dread or criminal suspense or something like that. They have that in the US. They have that in. I guess in other countries they may have that as well, but here we don't, and we feel as if a new sound needs to be invented. Now it can piggyback off of something we have already. Like we can modernize how old time calypsos sounded, or rap
could
song
darken
music,
the sound
or
of soca even.
or it could come from rap, so it could form the base of it or whatever. But the point is that what we're saying, we need to develop that sound. It doesn't have to sound like what the Americans do or anything. It must sound uniquely Trinidadian.
I understand. I appreciate that.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, caller.
Hello.
I want to thank all our callers actually for their contributions today. I see another call coming through, but if I take this call, we'll run into news time. So I apologize. I cannot take any more calls. Joe, thank you very much for being the pest that you are and for coming on today's program as our guest co-host.
Yeah, all right, okay. I will keep it civil. I will keep
Sprangy
it civil.
Poo, my dear, would you like to do the honors?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we have that emotion in the art. But anyway, it's always nice. I had remarked early in the conversation that I think it's over 20 years me and hold a conversation about nothing Trinidadian that we come to a decent understanding of what we where we are and how to move forward and so on. Too many people know. But because too many people know, I don't think nobody listening to nobody. So, and that to my mind is the problem. I think what we need to do is to rest and focus, instead of articulating vision and at 1.3 million vision about how to do the right thing. We cannot start because there is no time.
That was one of the points yesterday, Jude, in when I did the random ramble / on a positive note. Stop wanting to always be right was one of the 10 points that it was given.
Stop wanting to be right.
Stop always wanting to be right.
Or needing. I think needing. I think needing is probably the best way to
I don't get it right. I mean, what you do is you deal with the reason why how it is. What's the line? It's our line me and Box Supports used to use. We had to find out how it get.
Box Supports is your boy?
Yeah, that's your real boy.
Yeah, Box Supports is...
Even I land with him Box Supports. That's how close like he boy is.
Yeah, Box Supports. That was we position was how it get. And that to my mind more important than... The thing is you can't move forward because everybody in a different place. Anyway, it was nice. Next week again, we go kick back in.
But you can join Sprang later on this evening.
When is Mother's Day?
This weekend.
Oh, God. Anyway, I are orphan, so...
Okay, so on that note, we wrap up today's program. This was the Friday show right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. Up next, your news.